Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV. In this part, we're going to be doing the level 50 through 80 monk quests. And I got some explaining to do. As you can see, I'm level 70. Why am I level 70? Why am I not level 61? Or level 60 like I have been doing before? Well, ever since I started doing, ever since I started living up the other jobs, there's been a thought that's been lingering in the back of my head. How can I speed up the process? How can I expedite it just a little bit? And one thing came to mind, and it's something I really wanted to avoid doing, and that is job boosts. I'm not a fan of the boosts of any kind, especially, well, let me say this. It's very frowned upon to job boosts if it's your first character, because unless you put the effort to learn what the job is, what the rotation is, you won't know anything about it, and you'll get a lot of flack from the community, and it's gonna be quite obvious that you don't know to others that you don't know what you're doing. Well, if it's for alts, it's generally fine in most cases, and so for the sake of time and convenience, I have job boosted 4 classes in total. Monk is one of them, up to level 70. Don't before I freak out, I already know how each class works. I already know the rotations, blah blah blah, all that kind of fun stuff, because I have everything at level 80 on my main that I leveled up through normal means. So I know how every class works generally, for the most part. So it's not a problem for me if I boost. It just kind of, well, there's more positives as there to it than there is negative, because it takes me about 4 days to go from 50 to 80 roughly. Longer if other things get in the way. So I'm pretty much saving myself 4 days, no, 16 days of continuous grinding, if not more. So that frees up a lot of time for me, because we got 3 months until Endwalker comes out. But yeah, Monk is one of them. Pretty much all the jobs at level 70, so Ninja, Bard, and Warrior, all those have been boosted too. So I'll make a mention of it into their videos when I get to them. But yeah, it just helps speed things along. So and thanks to the New Game Plus feature, we can actually go back and go through the quests that were skipped for us. So we're going back to level 50. Eric! Cecil, your sense of time is impeccable as ever. I pity your mind was never quite so reliable. Shit, man, I forgot how rude you are. But worry not, for the task what I would have you perform shan't tax your limited intellect. It pertains to your monk friend, Wittergeld. This scarce comes as any surprise, but my words of wisdom have struck a chord with the Yoph. Having been made to realize that there is more to life than vengeance, he now expends his energies on more constructive pursuits, namely rebuilding his order, the Fist of Rhalgr. Indeed, he has been taking on pupils, and rumor has it he teaches with both charisma and zeal. Plainly, mine own brilliance as a tutor has rubbed off on him. And what is this task I would have you do? Take more readings of my ether meter, you are doubtless thinking. False! You of all people should know that I am finished with that research, and such a triumph it was. To be sure, I may have need of your talent for fieldwork in the future. For now, however, I simply wish for you to go and see how Wittergeld fares. Unless you think I worry about the fool, perish the thought. As a sister of the path, you will be worried about him, though it may not have occurred to you yet. And so I am taking the liberty of telling you what you must do to alleviate that worry. Wittergeld trains his pupils at Revenant's Toll. With that, you have all the information you need. Off you go then. Alright. And it'll add a note to rotations and everything. And if I don't remember things very well, I still have to pull things. I still have to pull these characters through, or not these characters, these jobs through Zadnor. So that alone will give me a refresher if I do stumble on the rotation a little bit. So plus these jobs aren't gonna be really used for like main MSQs, so really it doesn't really matter because these won't be my mains. Because right now I have no intention of switching my main from White Mage. Hey guy. Sessa, it's been a while, sister. So what brings you here? I see you got a new pair of weapons too. So the professor sends you, but it matters not why you came. I'm glad of your visit. I see you have a new set of attire too. Indeed, I've begun teaching. I desire to preserve our way, to impart our art to a new generation. Though I myself still have much to learn. I have but few pupils now, but they slowly their numbers grow. I will introduce some to you. Two girls who show great promise. Perhaps you can assist in their training. Oh my god, these names. I'm just gonna call you Zentasa and Chaka. those are mouthfuls. Zentasa, Chaka. What is it, Master Wittergeld? Has someone new joined? No, not a new pupil, an old one. My first and foremost. She has long surpassed me. Cecil is her name. Today you'll train under her supervision. An excellent opportunity. Go to the usual place and make ready. I've always wanted to have a senior. See you in a bit, Cecila. Zentasa, wait! Please excuse Zentasa. She forgets herself sometimes, but she has a good heart. We shall be honored to be for your watchful gaze, Cecila. Those two were abandoned by their parents. One day they came and begged me to teach them. They are very dedicated, very quickly to learn. Do they learn? Every day is fulfilling. Come, let us go to the training ground. Meet me southeast of Revenant's Toll. Alright. Fun fact, back when I did this on my main, I had a lot of trouble with this quest on my main. This was way back in Heaven's Ward when I didn't know the rotation at all. And this is back when jobs were very different in Heaven's Ward compared to now. You have no dedicated place for training, no halls of our own. Our pupils train wherever they can. First, I would have you demonstrate your abilities to Zentasa. She awaits you to the northeast. Alright. Was it this quest or was it another one? Oh. You ever get that feeling in the back of your throat like there's something there? Yeah. Oh god, that was bad. Oh shit. Oh, my throat hurts now. Oh god. It's like a lump of iron in my throat. It's kind of hard to explain. Whoa, you really are strong, and there's no feeling but good about myself. And there I was feeling good about myself. The world's a big old place, isn't it? So you're going to demonstrate for Chaka next. She's gonna be so impressed. We've been together for all our lives. In case you're wondering, we can read each other's thoughts as though they were our own. Come on, I'll take you to her. She should be over to the south. Might have to put my my chat blocking image up if the FC starts communicating with each other. I have eagerly awaited your coming, Mistress Cecila. Zentasa tells me that I'm in for a treat. that I mustn't so much as bat an eyelid. My heart races in anticipation of your demonstration. Please begin whenever you're ready. Alright. What you think? You're every bit as amazing as Intasa claimed you would be. Even though Master would have said so himself, I didn't believe that anyone could be stronger than him. See? You impressed the britches off her, just like I said you would. Oh, it's Intasa! I've never been so excited. I wish to learn everything Mr. Cecil knows. Everything! Me too, Chaka. With her help, we're bound to become stronger than we'd ever dared to hope. Growing up on our own, Intasa and I suffered much because we were weak and couldn't protect ourselves. And we swore to one another that we would become strong. If we could become strong as you, we would need fear. So, I've been wondering about the applications of 4-point fury. Who are you? What do you want? That was Master Wintergelt. Uh-oh, what's going on? What's happening? You alright, buddy? What's going on here? You have not come to harm? We're fine, Master. It's you we're worried about. What happened? Strangers came. They attacked without warning. The techniques they used were the same as ours. Same as ours? You mean to say they were monks? But I thought there were no others besides ourselves. I alone survived the massacre at the temple. There should be no... the sensation. A new power swelled within me, as though a new chakra has opened. Yet it is unlike all I have felt before. Chaka, this area was the site of some famous battle, wasn't it? Yes, it was. The battle of Silver-Tier Skies, which means that one's chakra can be opened here. Judging by Master's condition, however, I'm inclined to think that something else was the cause. Let's return to the Revenant's Toll. I must rest. Alright. What have you say, buddy? must have been a later quest. There was one quest where I struggled because I was very, very undergeared when I did this in my main back in Heaven's Ward. Oh yeah. I got that new mount, so I don't need this anymore. Goodbye, Carbuncle! I'm feeling better. The pain has subsided. They came shortly after you left. Masked men who fight as we do. They were monks, of this I'm certain. They outnumbered me. I held them off, but a sudden pain racked my body. As though I was pierced through, I fell to my knees. Next I was aware my assailants were gone. Most likely fled when they heard you're coming. The sensation I felt, it's not unlike the chakra opening, but neither is it the 7th chakra. If it isn't the 7th chakra, then what could it possibly be? I do not. I must ask someone who more learned than me, Professor Eric. He is versed in the history of our order. Perhaps he can find more information. Zensa? Was it Zensa? It's Zensa, not Zentasa. Zensa, Chaka, return to your training. Cecil, this may be a new source of power. If so, I will share its secrets with you. If I learn something, I will let you know. Thanks, buddy. Greetings, sister. It's good of you to come again. After your last visit, I told Professor Eric about my experience. I have not heard from him since. I wonder if he has forgotten. He's a busy man. But never mind that for now. You're here. Perhaps you can help my pupils train again. Zensa and Chaka were impressed by you. They spoke of your prowess to their peers. Now they all want you to teach them. My pupils are trained to the west. Let us go there. Alright. Let's do that. He's one of mine. He's badly beaten. Who did this? They're monks, like us. The same villains who attacked me? This is an outrage. They must be made to pay. Right, with me, sister. They cannot be far. Alright. Who's this guy? They're the ones, sister. But they're more at large. I saw them scurry. See to this lot. I'll continue giving chase. I will fight you! Nah, you're dead. There you're. There you're, sister. Huh. All right, what's next? We almost have them all. Sure, let me do the work. Ah. What's happening here? Beware, Sessa. These two are not what they seem. We stayed too long. We had stayed too long. Any further, we wouldn't have a place to return to. We seek no forgiveness for what we do, for it is only the only life we know. And if we don't return to it now, there'll be nothing left for us. Please understand, we have no choice. And now, prepare yourselves. Damn it! Woo! There's power surging within. Another chakra? But why? How? That's it for today. We're sparing you, but know that it isn't out of pity. And we need you, that's all. What do you mean? Yours is a sect of light, ours shadow. We are two sides of the same coin. That said, you disciples of light are not fodder to us. You exist solely to nourish shadow. Wait! Well, we haven't even known them that long. They betrayed us. I'm sorry, guy. I don't know what to tell you. Alright, Wonder Gal, I'm sorry, buddy. New chakra's open within me, as it did before. It's the same for you, yes? The two girls, the way they harness energy differs from us. It must be the way of their sect. I had great hopes for them. Their betrayal saddens me, but there is no time for lamentation. This sect of shadow, I knew not of its existence. It is a great surprise. We must learn all we can of them. A new chakra is open within us. How it happened, I know not, but you have a newfound power, and you must master it. I shall do so. Nice! Cecil, a letter has arrived. It comes from Zensa and Chaka. They would speak with us. They bid us come to Dalamud's talons. What their agenda is, I know not, but I would ask them questions of my own. Professor Eriks also sends word. He has learned of the sect of Shadow. Soon he will come to share his knowledge, but before I see him, I would see my former pupils. I wish to believe in them. They're good at heart. Of this I'm certain. Come, sister, let we go to Dalamud's talons. Alright. Where the hell is Dalamud's talons? Where the fuck is that? Oh, is that a... Alright. Alright. We got a fight going on here. Proceed. Normal. It's been a while. You two look well. Thanks for coming. For what it's worth, we're sorry that we deceived you. Know that it is for the benefit of both our sects that we fight. The other day, when you fended off our fellow disciples of Shadow, a new chakra opened within you, did it not? Yet the sensation was not unlike aught you had felt before. It's because you opened a chakra belonging to our aspect, the aspect of Shadow. The opposite also applies, of course. Fighting a disciple of your sect allows us to open chakra belonging to the aspect of light. Aspects of light and shadow? If this is the way of it, then why must we fight? Why can't we not cooperate? Our master forbids it, I'm afraid. Our true master, that is. And truth be told, we shouldn't be even speaking to you. We're not permitted to exchange words, only blows. They leave us no choice. Come, sister, we shall give them the exchange they desire. Alright. I'm not afraid. Why? Why must we fight? Enough talk. We have no use for your words. We're just limbering up. Our own technique. Stand clear, Cecilla. Not gonna run from that. There's more where that came from. No, we weren't supposed to lose. Too bad you lost. Bugger me. They're too strong. What you gonna do now? Chakra is opened. Tis precisely as Master described. Yes, I feel the power surging through me. But if we're to become stronger, if we're to open up any more chakra, we must throw ourselves into far fiercer struggles. A kind where lives are on the line. So long as you are disciples of light, we will continue to come for you, over and over. It cannot end until one side falls, never to rise again. And that's the reason we called you here. We don't want to hurt you. So please, give up being a monk. Give up any notion of rebuilding the Fist of Rhalgr. Please go somewhere far, far away. Wait! I mean, I can see where they're coming from. They don't want to hurt us. I mean, they have a good heart, but we gotta. They would have me stop being a monk, same as telling me to stop breathing. Many revelations have there been this day. The existence of opposing aspects of chakra, this is not the least of all. We must learn more of it. The professor will soon arrive at Revenant's toll. Perhaps he can enlighten us. Let's hope. We can only hope, right? Let's go see what he wants. Our philosophical friend. Thank you for coming, Professor. The information I requested. Were you able to find it? Of course I was, you incurable dolt. Elsewise, why wouldn't I bother to come all the way out this backwater? Now then, I have many demands on my time, so I shall convey my findings to you at once and in the most concise manner as possible. Now, it is common knowledge that the Fist of Rhalgr rose to the zenith of its power by virtue of royal endorsement. Lesser known is the dispute which broke out over this arrangement between two factions within the Fist, the Sect of Light and the Sect of Shadow. The head priest of the Sect of Light believed that an alliance with the royal house of Alamigo was the key to prosperity. However, its counterpart in the Sect of Shadow disagreed, warning that it would lead to their undoing. History has proven them both right, but I digress. Unsurprisingly, the disciples of each sect rallied to their respective leaders' side, and the two factions clashed with words and fists both. In the end, the Sect of Light prevailed, and the alliance with the royal house was sealed, and all members of the Sect of Shadow was banished from the order. So, in the past, the two sects would both belong to the Fist of Rhalgr, and their disciples trained beside one another as comrades. And yet, though the techniques they employed were identical, the manner in which they harnessed the energy was opposed in nature. It was this difference which gave rise to two aspects of chakra. There is a tradition wherein monks from the two schools would meet each other in a single combat, and attacking you, I posit that the disciples of Shadow are seeking to recreate this tradition. This clashing of light and shadow quickened the ether within, causing a chakra of the opposing aspect to open within them. In simple terms, for your simple minds, disciples of light fought to open shadow chakra, and disciples of shadow fought to open light chakra. And the implications of this? There are not 7, but 14 chakra all told. Yes, but two sides of the same coin. Where there is light, there is shadow, and all that poetic tripe. One thing I do not understand, Professor. Why can our sects not cooperate? Why must the disciples of Shadow attack like common brigands? A feud caused the rift between the two sects. Who's to say there isn't a feud still? I suspect only a member of the Sect of Shadow can tell you the truth. But now I must be off. I shall inquire further into the matter in my spare time. If there is naught else, you'll know where to find me. We must speak with Zensa and Shaka again. I will try to track them down. As for you, Cecil, I know the chakra is open within us. You must focus on mastering this new power. Okay. I'll do what I can. Alright, what's next? Cecil, finally, I have information on Chaka. She is near Aegina's spire in the North Shroud. I mean to confront her, to demand the truth from her. She and Zensa do not act of their own free will. Of this I'm certain. Nay, something has a hold over them. We will find out what it is. Come, sister, we go to the North Shroud. Quickly, while the trail is still fresh. I got hiccups. Oh. Where am I going? Up there. Alright. Uh-oh, what happened here? I found her like this. What has happened? Wittergelt. And Cecila? Rest assured, my injuries are not serious. Zensa held back. But God, I feel like such a fool. No matter what he asked of us, we always did it without question. In doing so, we thought we could survive. But in the end, he commanded us to fight each other to the death to open our chakra. Fight to the death? Who commanded this? Who? Who else but our master? Raha Tia. Not Graha, but Raha. Raha Tia is his name, and he leads the Sect of the Shadow. But more than that, he is a father figure to Zensa and me. After our parents abandoned us, Master Raha Tia took us in and raised us. We always strove to please him lest we lose our place. But today he made our worth to him abundantly clear. We are not his friends, let alone his family. Nay, we were not but tools to be used and discarded. When he fought, Zensa thrusted me off a cliff. She made it appear in an accident that I alone might flee. But I cannot flee while Zensa is still at our master's mercy. I must rescue her before he decides that she is no longer useful. And if you know what's good for you, you'll put many moms between ourselves and this place. The master will doubtless send people to verify my death. Chaka, wait, let us help you. You would help us after all the wrongs we have committed against you? Why? I once lusted for power. I stopped at nothing to obtain it. I used Cecila. I betrayed her. Worse, I tried to kill her. I repented. I started anew. Now, someone is making the same mistake as me. I cannot ignore it, nor can I ignore those who suffer from it. And above all, my pupils are in trouble. I would help them. It is what a master should do. Oh, Wittergeld. I'll go with Chaka to the hedge tree. See that no one follows us. No one follows. Join us when the area is safe. Alright. I will fight you! Whoever is here. Dead! Easy. Easy money. So why here of all places? It's safe here. Let me speak freely. There's much I do not know. Please, tell me everything. In the beginning, members of the Fist of Rogger strove to open all 14 chakra. 7 of light and 7 of shadow. Those who had opened all 7 of their native chakra were permitted to duel those who had achieved the same in the opposing aspect. For generations, such duels were held in great secrecy. But that ended with the massacre of the Temple of the Fist, when the sect of light was extinguished. And though the sect of shadow survived by virtue of its obscurity, its disciples lost the means to open light chakra. That is, until Master Rahatia learned of the sole survivor of the massacre, you, Wittergeld, and that's how Zensa and I came to you. Our master taught us that the disciples of light were but a means to an end, a resource to be used. He ingrained in us the belief that our two sects must ever be at odds, and we took him at his word, fools that we were. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I understand now how things were in the past, how they are in the present. Most importantly, I know that light and shadow were formerly as one, and it may be yet so again. I will speak with Master Rahatia, convince him that our schools need not fight. Together we can rebuild our proud order. I'm afraid he will not be easily swayed, and should it come to blows, as I fear it will, know that his strength far surpasses ours. He's the only person alive who has opened all 14 chakra. Recently, I have focused on opening light chakra. Of my own aspect, I have succeeded in opening but 6. I am no match for Master Rahatia. You are our best hope, Cecila. Even so, you're still 1 chakra short of 14. A small yet decisive difference. If you are to have a fighting chance, you must open the final chakra that eludes you, the 7th chakra of shadow. Alas, this presents a dilemma. There's no way to do so outside of mortal combat. There will be another way. There always is. All our chakra may not be open, but we have each other. Together, we may yet rescue Zensa. Thank you, Wittergeld. I swear to do my utmost to aid you. That as well. But first, chakra must recover. We return to Revenant's Toll. There is much planning to do. Okay. Getting nitty gritty. Nitty gritty. I heal her 10th chakra. When she is well enough, we will work on our chakra. We both saw how Chaka fears her master. It's not normal. As she warned, her words may not avail us. We must be prepared for anything. Continue your training, Cecilla, and together let us go forward as proud disciples of light. You leave it to me. I'm not afraid of no deranged lunatic. Good tidings, sister. Chakra has recovered. Together we spoke with Professor Eric. With his help we sought ways to open chakra of the opposing aspect, ways that require no dueling. Now we have a theory. We will test it in the western highlands of Korthus, near a place called Dragon Spit. Chaka has already left. Let us join her. Alright. Where am I going? I'm going way out there. I'm actually going over there. Interesting. Alright. Actually, it'd probably be easier if I just go through a tail feather and exit through there. Maybe. I'm just thinking out loud here. Alright. Yeah, it's right there. There you are, Cecily. Thanks for coming. This site hosted a fierce battle, so says Professor Eric. Much blood was spilled between knights and dragons. This makes an ideal place for our test. As you know, in order to open the chakra of the opposing aspect, one ordinarily has to fight an individual trained in that aspect. However, it does not suit us to duel one another to the death. So we theorized. Instead of each other, we'll have disciples of each from each sect were to fight independently within close proximity. Influenced by their presence, the ether that pervades a battleground may be tricked into opening an opposing chakra within each combatant. Without further ado, let us put this theory to the proof. Please seek out likely opponents nearby, as formidable as you can manage, and fight them all with all your might. Wittergale and I shall do the same. Alright. What is around here that I can fight? Alright, who's gonna pop up here? I'm not afraid. Uh-oh. What's happening here? Be on your guard, Cecilla. This is Rohatia, leader of the Sect of Shadow. He comes to take back Chaka. Take back? What an idiotic notion. She's a traitor to our sect and I'm here to silence her. We will not allow it. You must defeat us first. You're a disciple of the Sect of Light and one who surpasses Wittergale besides. That you have opened your 7 chakras plain to my senses. An idea occurs to me. A peaceful way to end this meeting. We need not fight one another, you and I. Chaka, you are to slay Wittergale and open your 7 chakra. Once you've accomplished this, return to me and Zensa shall come to no harm. As for you, adventurer, if you will then swear to serve me, I shall release Zensa and Chaka both. Fair trade, is it not? You're out of your mind! You need not answer at this moment. If you agree to these terms, come to the ruins south of El Little Alamigo. I shall await you there. Think on it, but not over long, or I cannot guarantee there will be much Zensa left to retrieve. You alright? I don't like that guy at all. I tried to fight him, but he was too strong. far stronger than I had imagined. Such is the might of one who has opened all 14 chakra. None alive can fight him on equal footing, not even Cecilla. One thing bothers me. The sect of light was destroyed, yet Rahatia has opened all 14 chakra. How did he do this? He was present for the massacre at the temple. He attacked and slew priests of your sect, and in doing so opened the chakra of the light. As we are, we cannot hope to defeat him. Alas, our test was a failure. My chakra did not open, and neither did yours. Am I correct? Nope. What am I to do? Oh, Zensa. I want to save you, but I cannot kill Wittergeld. We'll figure something out. Gotta keep your spirits up, Blast. I don't have my keyboard, so I'm just gonna type it out. Just gotta keep trying. We'll figure it out. I've been through more stickier situations than this. Please forgive my pitiful display. You're right, Cessa, I mustn't despair. Zensa and I used to be as birds in a cage. Serving Rahatia was the only life we knew, but all that changed when we met the two of you. You opened our eyes to a world of infinite possibilities. So much more is possible than I had ever dreamed, and so I won't give up hope. There is a way to defeat Rahatia, and we need but find it. We will rescue Zensa without raising my hand against Wittergeld, without your offering yourself as Rahatia's thrall. There is time still. Let us return to Revenant's toll. There we shall make a plan. Okay. That's not my mount. Professor Eric has loaned us those tomes. Chakra scours them for ways to open your final chakra. Perhaps she will find something, perhaps not. Meanwhile, we must do what we can, hone our minds and our bodies for the battle to come. Alright. Time's running out. The Zensa's life will soon be forfeit. We must act now. Alas, we did not find it. Our way to open the 7th chakra, but we must act nonetheless. Chaka has gone to little Alamigo. She fears for her friend. Let us join her. Alright. Little Alamigo. Look at all the sprouts. So many sprouts. Zensa's still alive, but I fear she'll not remain so much longer. But moments ago, she was taken to the ruins to the south. You'll have already heard, but I cannot find a bloodless way to open chakra of an opposing aspect. Thus far, you have opened 13 chakra, and most of us 3. But one more, and you could face Rahatia as an equal. Fight me, Cecil. Make the final chakra yours. There's no way I'm fighting it. This isn't the way. Listen to Cecilla. She speaks the truth. It is not the way. The Mandalorian would agree. This is not the way. We need power. This is true, but at what cost? If you die, Zensa would grieve. Victory would have no meaning. Remember my words. All our chakra may not be open, but we have each other. Together we can defeat Rahatia. We can rescue Zensa. The disciples of our sects once fought side by side. Let us do so again, as did we in the days of old. Thank you, Wittergeld. I shall stand with you. First, I will try to persuade Rahatia, convince him to see reason. But if my words fail, be ready to fight. Alright, I am ready to go to confront this madman. Hear me, Rahatia. We come, but not to accept your demands. Nay, we would remind you of the past, of the true nature of our order. Our two sects once fought beside each other, not against. Together we can achieve much. Let us join hands, brother, and rebuild the Fist of Rogger. cowards like you bring shame upon our order. Plainly, it is you who needs to be reminded of our true nature. The arduous training to hone one mind and body, the blood we spill and shed, all of it is for no other purpose but to honor the destroyer. We pay him great tribute by dueling to the death, and in return he grants us great power, the power of all 14 chakra. By consorting with the royal house, the disciples of light lost sight of their true nature. For this, Rogger visited destruction upon them. But in his wisdom we were spared, that your existence, feeble though it is, might serve to raise us higher. Upon your battered bodies, the fist of Rogger shall be restored to its former glory. You're wrong. The sect of light was undone, but not as you say. We misused our power. We turned it upon our rare people. For this we were cast down. And now you misuse your power. You turn it upon your own comrades. It is the same. It will end the same. You will destroy yourselves as we did. Do not make the same mistake, brother. If we are to survive, we must find another way. A way to prosper together. Or we shall perish in vain. All of us. Those who have power must choose. You must choose. With it, will you pave the way for life, or will you destroy it? Surely the choice is clear. I grow weary of your blathering. You have already declared your unwillingness to meet my demands. There is not more to discuss. Take the adventurer alive. We shall yet prove useful to her. She may yet prove useful to us. Kill the rest. Hold on, Rahatia Sessa. We will unbind Zensa. Hold on, Zensa. Shaka? And you two as well? You think you can defeat me? Fools! Impressive, may have different approaches in order. You are Sessa, I sent the torrent of energy. I'm not afraid of that thing. Alright. Get out here. Ranks have thinned out. Now's your chance. Come on, I almost killed him. I like how the guy's just standing there and watching this whole thing. You came. Thank you. So you return against me, the both of you. Have you forgotten who it was that saved you all those years ago? But I pride myself on being a forgiving man. In lieu of an apology, I shall accept your life force. Oh. Haha, your power is mine! Be glad, my wayward pupils, that you are useful to me at the end. Magnificent! My body's a raging furnace! It shall be as child's play to unleash my ultimate technique. It ends here! What? Can it be? Your front chakra is opened? That's the only explanation. Which means Cecil's now an equal with Rahatia. If we fight together, we may yet triumph. Triumph, you say? I do not recall raised such a foolish child. Cecil is a suckling babe with her new chakra, while your entire being is my fairly ablaze with the life energy of these 3 monks. It matters not how many of you there are, you cannot hope to defeat me. You must underestimate me, buddy. Focus on Master Cecil, we will keep the rest occupied. It's time, past time, made myself useful. Celsa did open up her chakra. She did it without hurting you. This changes nothing. Mine's the one true path. This is to exalt Rhalgr. Alright. Let everybody. Just been coming to be careful. You're dead. So, it ends here. You got thrashed, pal. That was very anticlimactic. It's over. Sensa is safe. Together we achieved the impossible. Yet my heart is heavy. I failed to convince Rahatia. Every step I take, blood is spilled. My power are not only destruction. That's not true, Wittergeld. A monk's power can also be used to save like you saved us. We have a favor to ask of you. If you're still intent on rebuilding the Fist of Rhalgr, we would lend you our aid. We'd bring whoever's left of our sect. Together we can restore the order the way it used to be, with disciples of light and shadow side by side. And together we can think about what power means to us. Thinking about it alone, your mind's liable to take you to a dark place. Better to have comrades around who share your cause, I reckon. With Rahatia gone, Cecil's the only soul left who has opened all 14 chakra, and a soul of gentleness she is. She did not seek power for its own sake, yet she has achieved the zenith of our art. In so doing, she has shattered our old preconceptions and shown us another path. And in opening her final chakra by stopping Master's technique, she has given us hope that there is a way to open all chakra without bloodshed. Thank you, Zensa. Chakra. Together we will create a new path and lay a new foundation upon it for our order. Cecil, it is to your shining example that we turn. You are as a star. We look up to it. We strive to reach its heights. The way may be dark and it may be filled with hardship, but come what may, we will forge on towards your light. Promise me this, sister. Ever use your powers for good and for the realm. Leave it to me. Woohoo! A happy ending! A happy ending for Heaven's Lord. Alright. Nice. Cool. So, with that being said, I can now activate the next one. Stormblood. Commence! Alright. So I'm gonna go talk to Eric. So I'm gonna go back to Ul'dah. Good old Ul'dah. Hello, buddy. Fistful of resolve. Cessa, dim though you are, God, this guy's rude as ever. I swear you possess an innate ability to sense when you are needed. And on that note, I have a task for you. Your fellow brute Wittergeld, some matter of or other weighs heavily on his mind of late. Knowing him, it can only pertain to Alamigo, but the stubborn oaf is determined to keep it pent up inside. Though to trouble me with it or some such nonsense, I shouldn't doubt. But you, my friend, you're as a sister to him. If there is a woman alive whom you'd be willing to confide, it is you. For the hopeless idiot's sake, I bid you to go to Revenant's Hole and place yourself at his disposal. Oh, God. Fine. Looks like that person did the New Game Plus route too, because she has the level 60 armor. The fruit of my efforts. I like the other attire better, honestly. The white and black. Good. That will be all for today. You've done well. I'm pleased with your progress. You always say that, Master, but we're nowhere near where we want to be. Not even close. Indeed. And besides, any progress we make be wholly to you. Damn right. Without your guidance, we'd be going nowhere fast. My guidance. What's going on here? Cecil, I'm glad to see you. Things are well here, as you can see, but... Zensa, Chaka, you may go ahead. I would speak with Cecil. What's going on, buddy? What's happening here? Those two grow stronger every day. Shadows darken their way no more. Their purpose is clear. Would that I could say the same of mine. You see, I received an offer. Resistance. They asked I rejoin them. Lead one of their units. Oh. Once I would have jumped at the chance, but no more. No longer do I live for revenge. You and the professor showed me it is not the way. So I will turn down the offer. I would focus not on fighting, but rebuilding. But what is within my power? Beyond the battlefield, how can I serve my homeland? Forgive me, I should not trouble you with this. It's my answer to find. But first, I'll give the resistance their answer. My thanks for listening, Cecila. Okay. He still agonizes over it. I hardly the state of mind to be in for such an important meeting. Isn't there anything we can do? Not us two. His pride will not allow it. But you, Cecila, he's opened up to you just now, did he not? I dare say he'll do so again. We're terribly sorry to impose, but could you please follow Master Wittergale? Watch over him in our stead? Oh god, really? I guess this is the thing where, do you remember these people's names? We're in your debt, Cecila. He's bound for little Almigo, I believe. I don't know what happened if I called her Chaka, or Zensa by mistake. Alright, let's go see what this guy's up to. No. What's going on over here? You would bear witness to my resolve? Very well, sister. Witness me. Gundabald! Have you made up your mind, then? I have. Your offer does me great honor, but with respect I must decline. My days of vengeance are over. I see. That is your decision. I shan't press you further. Yet I would be lying were I to say I'm just not disappointed. With your mastery of the fist, your contribution to our struggle would have been immeasurable. I'm sorry. Do not be. Remember, fighting is not the only way to serve one's nation. We each of us must find our own path to walk. Our own path. There is a place I would be. I take my leave of you. It's plain you know Wittergale better than most. If you are indeed his friend, as I mark you to be, I'd need to tell you to be there for him. You didn't have to tell me that. I could have done it. Alright, so where's he going? Oh, he's inside still. Alright. Oh. There you are. What's up, Patty? Betty? To find me here, you know me too well, Cecil. The mark of the Destroyer. My people bore it when the Empire came. Their risk was great, but their faith was greater still. Alas, that faith has all but faded. wiped away from the motherland. The garlands suffer not the divine. They allow us not to even solace the worship. By Ralgar, I know now that which I can do for Alamigo. All along there was but one path. Let's return Revenant's Toll. There I will tell all. He's had a revelation. Alright, let's hear his revelation. That is not my mount button. I got a Cerberus's ass in my face. Thank you for all for coming. I have found my calling, and I will share it with you. I will go to Garabania, and there revive the Fist of Ralgar. Well then, we're coming with you. We won't let you out of our sight, not until we repay the debt at any rate. Suffice to say, I too shall come. The lands of Garabania harbor countless mysteries, and such knowledge as I possess will doubtless serve you in your endeavor. And you, sister, can I count on you as well? I'm with you. I'm not feeling up to it. Fine. I'm up to it. I'm glad your presence gives me heart. The mission will not be easy, but I will not rest until I succeed. And the Fist of Ralgar has returned to the land. This I swear. On that inspiring note, I shall go make ready. And Wintergale, pray do not forget what we discussed. Oh, what was that? You will depart anon. Pray see to your preparations, Cecilla. What's this juicy bit that you do? Alright. What's next? Are you ready to depart, sister? Yes. Good. The professor has already left. He makes for a village called Alagana. There he will take measure of the land. I would strike out as soon as well. But one more matter troubles me still. The creed of a new Fist of Ralgar. With all due respect, Master, but at this rate we'll never get to Garabania. You're right. Sometimes the answer cannot be forced. Mayhap it'll come to me on the road. Very well, let us away. En route, I would make a stop. The place called Schism. Monks once trained there, and revisiting the past, we might better walk the future. The Schism. Oh, where's the Schism at? Is that the giant? Oh, okay, it's not the giant hole. I was thinking about the. Never mind. I was thinking about the stupid pit right here. It's not. All right. I need to go to Castrum Orions. God damn, I've been here. I haven't been this place in ages. Schism is down that way. All right. As a child, I came to this place. We faced fearsome fiends, then we might open our chakra. And returning here, I'd hope there would be a spark. Inspiration for a new creed, but it's not so simple. The Fist once taught that through the pursuit of strength, one can approach the sublimity of Ralgar. A teaching our forebears allowed followed to their undoing. In pursuit of strength, they sought the power to rule, and by that power they were destroyed. Our creed must rise above that dark past, or it cannot light the way into the future. Nay, we must find a new path. Well, there's nothing like a journey for finding paths. Let's keep moving, Master. Something will come to mind before you know it. So I pray, Zensa. So I pray. But yes, let's continue to the peaks. East of the village of Algana, there Professor Eric awaits us. Alright. Algana. When I return here, I remember the day the Fist of Temple was raised. On that day, I was training, like all the days before. Then, without warning, we were attacked. We all of us fought bravely, even little ones like me, desperate to protect our temple, our home. But it was all in vain. One after the other, we fell, all while the temple burned. Some few of us managed to flee, yet my closest brother, Audrey, we stumbled into this village, smoke billowing behind us, but when I looked around, Audrey was not there. I never saw him again. Forgive me, now is not the time for sorrowful recollection. Come, let us look for the professor. Go on then, join the bloody resistance, add to the pile of corpses. That's the only difference you're gonna make. You're wrong. I'm gonna make a real difference. I'm gonna train hard and honor Rhalgr, and he'll grant me power. That power couldn't save the temple, our home. What makes you think it's gonna save us now? Don't be a fool. No matter how strong you become, you'll still be one man against the might of the Empire. They might even be beaten now, but they won't be beaten forever. Mark my words. And you mark my words. My mind's made up. I'm not letting the bastard Imperials take it from us again. You just take care of yourself, you hear? Souls crushed to submission, the fire in their hearts extinguished. To rekindle hopes within such people, this must be the purpose of the new fist. Praise be, I have it, our new creed. To those who have had their homes stolen, their loved ones taken, now is more desirous in strength to protect that which they may hold dear. It sounds like a good creed. Well, I see you found your answer, and rather more quickly than I expected of someone who would sooner strike rather than think with his head. With the war's purpose thus established, we may consider the question of place. I regret to say, however, that the old temple grounds are currently occupied by the resistance, and there is naught to indicate that they will vacate anytime soon. The grounds hold symbolic meaning, a fitting stage for reviving the fist, but ultimately the physical location matters not, for our mission lies in the spiritual realm, within people's hearts. There we will rekindle the faith, and all may know the solace of worship. That, as you say, is the spirit. Now then, I shall report on the matter stand in the region, but few faithful remain, even accounting for those who have practiced in secret. Nor has there been any trace of the sect of Shadow, not since their misguided leader's downfall. Save for those who came over to the light, it is safe to assume that his ambitions died with him. We have a long road ahead, so that much is plain, but we will see our journey through, one step at a time. And the first step begins here and now. Great! So, what do we do exactly? We hold a demonstration. Give the people tangible proof. Prove that the fist has returned. Sessa, first impressions last, you are the first among us. And as such, I would entrust this task to you. You may leave it to me around with the villagers. I shall cry up a veritable storm for the coming spectacle. Zensa, Chaka, take the wooden dummy. Set it up in the village outskirts. And Sessa, limber up and tell me when you're ready. Really? You're gonna have me fight a dummy? What about a living target? Not many came. Far fewer than I had hoped, but no less than a show we will give them for it. Come, sister, your performance will mark the revival of the Fist of Rhalgr. Lead in with the shoulder tackle, fall on with the dragon kick, then finish it with the boot shine. Alright. Easy. Okay. Alright. Dragon kick and boot shine. Hey, ain't that the Fist of Rhalgr? But I thought all the monks was gone. Good people of Algana, I'm Wittergelt, proud son of Alamigo, and brother of the Fist of Rogger. All know the sad tale of our order. Years ago, the King of Ruin laid our temple waste to waste. Our faith was lost to the people. But without faith, there's people who are lost. To lose faith is to lose hope. But we need hope now in this bleak age, more than ever before. So I come before you today. I beseech you, join me in the reviving of the Fist of Rogger. Let us restore hope to the land. You can't fool us. You just want soldiers, fodder for the front lines. You're no different from the accursed masks. So it was in the past. Our order was seduced by power, swore allegiance to the royal family. We monks were little more than tools of war. But that was the Fist of old. The new Fist serves no king. It hungers not for glory. It thirsts not for blood. Nay, friends, it only seeks to protect that which we hold dear. Protect. Rogger is the destroyer. As his disciples, there is but one we ought to destroy. Our own weakness. Therein lies the strength to protect. Therein lies hope. I will not lie, I'm no great warrior. My forebears would have put me to shame, but I am not alone. Nay, I have stout comrades beside me, who are no less dedicated to the cause. My foremost pupil is Zensa and Chaka. And Sessa, whose sublime skills you just witnessed. Sessa, please say a word to the people. Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for pain? Sister Monk Jess. Rest assured, she is a gentle soul. To bring you hope, we will give you our all. Every ounce of our being. This we solemnly swear. Alright, we got 3 aspiring new recruits. I thank Cecily performance paved the way for my words. All present lent their ears, no few opened their hearts. Already villagers have come, seeking to learn of the new Fist. A fine first showing. Our forebears will doubtless be pleased. By restoring the Fist, we will honor their memory. I shall commence the villagers' training at once, initiate them into the fundamentals of the faith. When that is over, we may continue our mission. Till then, pray see to honing your own skills. Ere long, they will be called upon again. Alright, like now? You look well, sister. Stronger than we last spoke. Our membership too grew stronger. Word spread after the speech. Others have come to learn, but it is too soon to be satisfied. I would welcome you more to the faith, but there are villagers still who doubt us, our authenticity, and our purpose. To convince them, I would demonstrate our techniques in real combat by way of a cross-discipline match. For our opponents, I have the pugilists of Ul'dah in mind, assuming they are willing. You're well known in the Pugilist Guild. If you ask, they will surely listen. We speak with them on our behalf. You have my thanks. Go well, Cecil. Give my regards to Master Haman. Damn, we haven't talked with this guy in ages. Holy shit. Let's see how this guy's been going. Let's see if he's back in fighting tip-top fighting. Well, I mean, he was back in tip-top fighting shape before, but let's see if he's let's see if he's gotten better. Alright. Hello, Master Haman. It's been ages since I've seen you, buddy. How you doing? Oh, visiting a familiar face, and one I'm rather fond of. Chudo, Urukuda, we have an esteemed guest. You look very enthusiastic. Cecila, gods, how long has it been? Ages. Well, it seems I picked a good time to take a break from my wanderings. It's good to see you again. That it is. Now then, what brings you here, lass? Cross-discipline match? Why, that sounds exciting. Don't you agree, Master? Gear Bunny is so far. Might as well be the other side of the world. Most these sinewy Highlanders. And male ones at that. Oh, that's a rich coming from a sinewy Highlander and a wrinkled old one at that. I, for one, would welcome the challenge. I was growing weary of pummeling Chichudo senseless. Says the one who on a losing streak. But of course we'll go. After all you've done for us, it's the least we could do. The sooner the better, I take it, and there's no time like the present. We'll head out at once. Hurry up and pack your things. We're going to Garabania. You go on ahead last and let the young Widowgelt know to what expect us. It's on like an Alamegan monk. Alright. Let's go to give him the good news. It's nice that the later job quests, or some of them at least, incorporates the base guilds. Not many jobs really incorporate the base guilds. Like, I'm pretty sure Lancer or Dragoon never returns to the Lancer Guild, but I haven't refreshed my mind on that storyline yet because I haven't done it yet. So the pilots are on their way. We're all gonna be praised. There is much to do. I'll make the match known to the village. Zensa, Chaka, be on hand to receive our guests. And you, Cessla, Schism, that is to be the venue. Pray take yourself there and prepare. Alright. Oh, we'll go back to Orion's, don't I? Can I just go back to probably not. It's probably the same amount of distance. Actually. No. Orion's it is. Oh, why can't they just fight here in the village? Oops. I gotta make my way all the way across the fields again. Alright. You're here. Good. The people of Algana expect a quality match. Let's not disappoint them. Soon the girls will arrive with the Puglis. I also told the professor, but he'll not attend. Science says before savagery, he says. Ah! Seven hells, what are you? Uh-oh. Sense and Chaka! They're in trouble! The voices came from the river. With me, Cessla! Uh-oh. What's going on here? Uh-oh. Trouble brewing. Corpse Brigade. You're right. My techniques, they have no effect. Who's this guy? Looks like the frickin' what's his name? From the MSQ. Well, We thought we knew every element of your style, but you, adventurer, you're not like the others. You're the Griffin. Oh, that's it. That's what I was thinking of. The wretch who led the countless soldiers to their doom. Good men and women and with lives ahead of them. But you're supposed to be dead. The wretch who died was but a double. And good riddance too, for he was presumed to have ambitions of his own. I am the true Griffin, and my true name is Theobald, Theodoric's heir and rightful king to Alamigo. Theodoric's heir? King of Alamigo? I, and in my role of duty, have come to deliver a warning. Such cults as propagate false beliefs will not be suffered under my reign. Cease any foolish notion of reviving the fist of Roger. Swear fealty unto me, or you will meet the same as your treacherous forebears. Lies! Theodoric's line is spent, and rightful or no, none would bow before you. The people will not suffer another tyrant. You wound me, Wittergeld, or shall I say, Theodred, dear cousin. What? All this time you didn't know? Neither who you are, nor what became of your parents? This ignorance cannot be borne. Nay, we must be rectified at once. You see, your father and mother, they conspired to betray the royal house. For their crimes, his grace, my father, put them to death. And though your parents were the dimmest of traitors, they had wits enough to know when the game was over. So they sent their precious Theodred then a bawling babe, to be raised in safety at the Temple of the Fist. Though my father attended that squalid little place soon enough. You dare mock my parents and my home? Who you claim to be? I care not. I will make you pay. Have you learned nothing? Your techniques are useless against us. If your defeat suffices not to convince you, look to the proof of your beloved temple's destruction. Listen well. Alamigo needs a strong ruler, an absolute ruler, to smite her enemies and restore her to glory. That ruler is me. Your feeble fist has no place in her future. Can't wait to pummel this guy to death. I thought we were done with the Griffin. It is not a good time for the match. With apologies to Master Haman, I must call it off. Zensa, Chaka, pray return to Alganal and rest. I shall remain behind to receive our guests. Wait with me, Cecila. Phew, sorry for the delay, my friends. Having been here once before, I thought I had a handle on the route, but 'twas the route that had a handle on me. Something the matter? Aye, harsh truths have been thrust before us, calling my very existence into question. As I am, I'm no fit opponent for you and yours. Forgive me, Master Haman. Far as you may have come, it pains me to say this, but I must call off our match. Well, that you don't do so lightly is plain to see. Whatever has happened must be serious indeed. For now, my boy, you'd best focus on yourself. There'll be another time to trade blows. Come, you two, we're going home. Already? We've barely gone here, and by the scenic route besides. Let me rest a moment, will you? Oh, don't be such a milksop. With all your roaming, sure this distance is nothing to you. And Wittergeld, to make it clear, we're only postponing the match. Whatever it is that ails you now, I have faith that you'll bounce back, ready to match me blow for blow. Master Haman is a soul of kindness. I have nothing but gratitude. Let's return to Alganah. I must look in on Zensa and Chaka. Meanwhile, please find Professor Eric. Tell him that all that has come to pass. Well, shit. We were going on a good high, and this guy had to come and ruin it. Hi, guy. I got some bad news for you. What? Let me rephrase. You're telling me that Wittergill, our Wittergill, the lumbering slab, is in fact Theodred, nephew to Theodoric and the King of Ruin? And that this man who claims to be the Griffin, presumed dead, also claims to be Theobald, Theodoric's rightful heir, also presumed dead? By the gods, not even a drink-addled bard can make this up. Outlandish details aside, I have an inkling as to the identity of those who set upon you. They are the self-same crew who raised the Temple of the Fist, the Corpse Brigade, trained in counter-monk combat. They served the King of Ruin as his personal guard, though his personal agents of destruction would be more accurate. But when their liege fell, they followed in their turn, becoming overqualified bandits. Even so, it appears that they have not entirely forgotten the training. That would explain why, for all their master at the Fist, Wittergill and the girls had no answer to them. Now you could hold your own, I believe, is due to your puggiless background. At any rate, now is the time to arm yourselves with knowledge. First of all, I shall look into Theobald's myriad claims. As for you, I suggest you check on your friend. Knowing the oaf, he'll be confused and crestfallen to no end. Yeah, I can see this having a pretty big effect on him. Alright, buddy. Ah, it's you. I have known defeat, tasted my fair share, but not like this. I was helpless as a babe. The strength to protect, I proclaimed, but I could not even protect my own. All my years of training, all useless. What have I to offer the people? And to think, the Mad King is my uncle. I am nephew to the man who murdered my parents, who destroyed our temple, who brought our nation to ruin. Forgive me, sister. I would be alone. Yeah, this is expected. It's you again, sister. My new peoples have lost faith in me, and so I have lost them. But perhaps it is just as well, for I am unfit to teach. I am the Mad King's kin. It would be an affront. Forgive me. I shall not burden you. But to you, I feel I can speak my heart. Reveal things I would not to others, not even my closest disciples. Speaking of whom, Zensa and Chaka, their bodies may have healed, but their pride will yet be raw. They will be heartened for your visit. Oh man, everyone's having a bad day here. Ah, Cecil, how good of you to come and see us. Both Zensa and I are well now, never you fear. 'Tis Master Wittergill that worries us. He will not soon recover from the emotional blow. Given all that's happened, you can hardly blame him. We were supposed to support Master, but in the end we were just dead weight. Lessons have been suspended since the incident. Not that it matters though. The villagers have ceased attending. It's a big setback to our mission, but the biggest setback of all is Master's melancholy. Professor Eric would know what to do, I'd wager. Let's go and consult him. But I don't want to leave Master by himself. Nor do I. Cecil, might you trouble to find the professor and bring him back? I believe he took his investigation of the man named Theobald to the Resistance at Rogger's Reach. Alright. Let's do it! Alright, so where you at, buddy? Where are you hiding at over here? There you are! Ah, Cecil, you come at a good time. I finished inquiring about after our friend, his aspiring majesty Theobald, and you're doubtless eager to hear my findings. By all accounts, 'twas but recently that the man was surfaced. None can quite say whence he came, but no sooner did it appear that he declared himself Theodoric's heir and proceeded to recruit people to his cause. But the prevailing sentiment around the fellow is one of uncertainty. It should come as no surprise, but folk are not exactly keen on the Griffin's return. And lest you forget, few have fond memories of the King of Ruin's reign, nor do they have any reason to love his heir. That is all. Now then, what brings you here? Still soaking in his cyclas, huh, you say? Utterly hopeless. Very well, I shall go and slap some sense into the fool. Come, Cecil. That's what he needs. A good beating. Wintergeld, a thrashing though it was, how long will you let a single defeat keep you down? As I hear it, you've been neglecting your training, having so much as lifted a finger. You would let all that muscle go to fat? Defeat is painful, that is true, but I'm no stronger than to its sting. In time, the sensation fades, but this is no mere sensation. It is my very existence. The man who destroyed the fist of Rhalgr, his blood courses through my veins. That I should seek to revive the odor is an affront to the dead. I have not the right. So that is the way of it. I'll tell you a story. I once had a son. In many ways he took after me, and 'twas my hope that he would one day follow my footsteps. But the boy had grander dreams. Wanting to change the world, he took off and joined the resistance, and then he died. His unit was hopelessly surrounded by Imperial forces. In order to save his comrades, he swept up a sack of explosives and... But the details are irrelevant. For long years I lived with regret. If only I had my son walk the path of science, I lamented that he might still be here. But eventually I came to realization it was his choice to make, and make it he did. He chose to be a soldier and died a hero. And acknowledging this, I was able to attain a semblance of peace. We are defined not by our blood, Wintergeld, but by our choices. So your uncle is the Mad King. So what of it? You're not him. You are you, by whatever name, and there is no limit to what path you may walk. That path may be fraught with hardship, but you mustn't give up. Behold the soldiers of the resistance. Even after their great victory, they continue their vigil, ever ready to render up their lives for their cause. These men and women bear a great burden, one beneath which they could buckle at any moment, yet they stand firm to the very last. I used to wonder, why do they not give up? My son taught me the answer. They believe that the moment you give up on something is the moment you lose it. When we first met, you were hell-bent on retribution. Mule-headed though you were, you came to see the whole folly of your path. But there comes a time when a man must fight. For you, that time is now. So find your inner mule, Wintergeld, and fight. Fight for for that which you believe in. You're right, Professor. I see now that what is truly important. Theobald desires absolute rule. If he has his way, the people will suffer. This cannot be borne. It flies in the face of the new fist. Oh, restore hope to the people, but to do this I must transcend him. I will become stronger, and I will protect that which I hold dear. Full glad I am to hear it. Suffice it to say, I shall aid in whatever way I can. Something else has been bothering me, Professor. About Theobald. His polearm techniques are distinct. I have seen them before, but when? Where? It was a long time ago, when the Temple of Fists still stood. No, it couldn't be. Adri? Who is this Adri? A brother at the Temple of the Fist, and the closest thing I had to a family. I had thought him dead, slain when the temple was raised. But now that you believe he may still be alive, he is the one who seeks to prevent your reviving with the Fist of Rhalgr? Let's confront him and uncover the truth. I looked upon Adri as a true brother. I do not wish for us to fight, but neither can I yield to my purpose. I seek to restore hope to the people. Adri seeks to deprive them of it. If we must stand opposed, then I stand ready to strike him down. But remember, Adri's not alone. He has rallied the Corpse Brigade to his cause, and against him the Fist of Rhalgr is ineffectual. How do you intend to overcome this disadvantage? If our fine style will not serve, we will master another, one that is free and unshackled by form. Cecil, to ask a favor of you. All you learned as a pugilist, we will learn also. Will you teach us? Reckon you can keep up? It's quite the task. Give us your word, sister. We'll take it all in our stride. If you're ready, I will begin at once. Let us train at Gear Cam, or Cam, as the monks of old once did. I shall summon the girls. Pray meet us there. Well, it would seem that the storm is blown over. With that, I shall return to Uldan and to attend to a task of mine own. I trust you'll see to the rest here. Alright. Where the hell is Gear Chem? Where is that? Oh, it's over there. Oh, the peering stones! Alright. Theobald leads Corpse Brigade. Soldiers trained to suppress the fist of Rogger. Against them, our style is ineffective. If we are to triumph, we must broaden our horizons, and Cecil will help us. Alright, let's do it. I shall give it my all. You all know how to fight. You all know how we fight. Our strengths and our weaknesses. Tell us what we must to improve. From eyes of a pugilist. Oh shit. I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Strength. I see. Beside the pugilist we want for power, and every blow must be telling. Zensa, Chaka, our strikes must be harder than stone. Arm the destroyer for 10 hours. Oh jeez. They're going nuts. Huh. So this is how you trained. It's eye-opening. It's not exactly how I trained, but whatever. But it is not enough. We must learn more, or we cannot defeat the enemy. Please, Cecil, teach us more. Endurance! I see. It's at the pugilist we want for endurance. No number of blows will stop us. Zensa, Chaka, our endurance must be unyielding. Fists of the earth for 10,000 times. Well, they're dedicated. Such brutal training. Small wonder you're strong. But we're not finished yet. Again, Cecil. Alright. Speed. I see. Above all, Pugilist is swift. For each blow he receives, he delivers a dozen. Zensa, Chaka, our combinations must be seamless. 10,000 boot shines. So this is how you trained. It's eye-opening. Again, it's not exactly how I trained, but we'll roll with it. Who's this guy? Pray forgive my interruption. My name is Huey. I'm just gonna call you Huey. I come at Professor Eric's behest. The professor? Something happened? Nothing untoward, I assure you. He has made a momentous discovery pertaining to the man called Theobald. Truly? We must go to him at once. I beg your pardons, but the professor bade me bring Mr. Cecil alone. He believes that you and the ladies should focus upon your training first and foremost. I suppose he is right. Very well. Go on, sister. You've taught us all we need to know. All that remains is to practice. Make it second nature. But thanks for your understanding. Without further ado, please follow me. Alright. This seems awfully sketchy, but whatever. I didn't even know he had any associates working for him. Uh-oh, there's a thing here. I knew this was sketchy. Not far now. The professor waits beyond. Oh, he's there. It's a trap. Can't believe you fell for it. Oh, but to be fair, I spoke no lies. The professor did call for you. Help me, Cecil, he said. I'm not afraid of you. So we're doing this again? This is old news for me, buddy. Alright. Can't have you meddling no more, see? We're strong, give you that, but how do you like these odds? I mean... What you think, buddy? I'll put you in your place. The hell's you waiting for? Finish her! Fighting a hopeless battle, buddy. Stubborn bastard. We'll have to try something different. Surrender now or he's a dead man. Oh, you're resorting to this. You can't beat me fair and square, so you have to take a hostage. Can't even finish the fight you started. Cravens, a lot of you. Call me what you will, but no one stands between the king and his throne. Get yourselves whipped. You were slow to return, so we followed. It was right we did. Thank Ralgo we're not too late. Phew. How the hell did you guys pass the centuries? We trampled right over them. How else? Damn it. Your ilk was supposed to be easy pickings. Your day's yours, but it isn't over. Mark my words. Who the fuck's calling me? Alright, my thanks, Cessa. I was on my way back from Old Dawn when they set upon me, and none too gently, the bloody brutes. I'm sorry, Professor, it's my fault. You were put in danger because of me. Now you learned already anything, you dolt. I'm part of this cause of my own volition. For better or worse, I alone bear responsibility for my actions. At any rate, I've done what I needed to do, and you may resume training safe in that knowledge. Begging your pardons, but may I suggest we leave this place? The enemy may be still lurking nearby. The wisest thing said all day. Come, let's return to Algana. Alright. That's not my mount button. Why am I doing that all of a sudden? I don't know. I thank you again, Cessa, for your teachings. Owing to them, we could save the professor. He sustained some injuries, but for a blessing, they are minor. The village healer attends to him. When he's recovered, I mean to challenge Theobald. For that day, I will train hard, and I'll put an end to his tyrannical ambitions. Witness me, sister. I will. We'll take him down together. The professor is well again. The time has come. I will issue Theobald my challenge. He and his minions use Rust Rock as their hideout, but who should bear the letter there? I will go. You, sister, is this wise? What if they set upon you again? No, better that I go. Master, wait. If you deliver the letter, it'll be most certainly end in blood. Cessa should go. Without a hostage, they can't pull no dirty tricks. They won't dare try Cessa again. Very well, I'll entrust this letter to you. Take it to Rust Rock and see to it Theobald's hands. Where the frig is Rust Rock? Way over there, huh? These guys just don't learn, do they? Can't beat me. Ah, I remember you. Friend to the pathetic monks. You're bold to come here. What do you want? A letter of challenge? A dated practice befitting a dying style, and a lot of effort to simply lose. I accept. Indeed, I anticipated that I would have to deal with the stubborn fool and another beating. I'll be at the schism, when you made me tell Wittergeld's, name my dear cousin Theodred, that he will do well to bring her coffin. Alright. It's nice that this set of jobs actually takes place in Stormblood areas. rather than going to one Stormblood area for one quest and never returning. So it's kind of nice it actually takes place mainly in Stormblood areas. No. Delivered is delivered. My thanks, sister. I have invited people of Algana. They too shall bear witness. The fight is to be seen in combat, but my opponent's scruples at naught. We know this. And so we must be prepared for anything. Whatever should happen, I'm confident we will prevail. As far as I train, I awaken to a new power. The power to protect. Let's see if it's enough. Really? A crowd? Well, if you're determined to make a spectacle of your demise, who might stop you? Let all present witness the death of the Fist of Rhalgr. Hear me, people of Alamigo. A feeble faith such as the charlatan peddles will avail you not. Only a strong and absolute ruler can save you. Only I can save you. Those words may as well come from the Empire. People need not another tyrant. Nay, what they need is hope, and the hope they may yet have, a hope everlasting in their hearts that none can take away. So I beg you, brother, give up your aspirations for the throne. Join me in reviving the Fist of Rhalgr, as is your right. The time for deception is past, but one man I know wields the lance as you do. So take off this mask of what that you wear, the mask of a dead prince, and show me your face, Adri, my brother. Adri. Long has it been since I last heard that name. I had always thought you dim-witted, but it seems your memory still serves you well. Oh my god! Please, who stop calling me? Christ! People just won't leave me alone. Why do you so desire your destruction? So much so that you fool even yourself. Like you, I was an orphan. The temple was the only home I knew. But that home was taken from me, laid to waste at Theodoric's command. The monks, hailed as the realm's greatest warriors, could not withstand the mad king's might. It was then that I knew that blood counts for more than all else. All the training we undergo to hone flesh and minds, none of it is worth the spit in the face of absolute power, and those who are born without it, those like me, will ever be made to suffer. You had it all from the beginning, born to the royal family with the blood of kings coursing through your veins. You had the power to lead and to rule, but still you turned your back on our nation's liberation. And for what? For the sake of a fist that couldn't protect itself? I was nobody, just one of the Griffin's lowly doubles. But if you will not rise up for our nation, then I will. You have no right to stop me. You who have forfeited your own birthright. Hear me, brother. Our blood defines not who we are. The path we walk is ours to choose, and I have not chosen to destroy, but to protect. Hollow words from someone who born to power. You'll never understand what it means to be weak. Never! I am Wittergeld, the brother of a Fist of Rhalgr. That is who I am. No more, no less. I live to revive the Fist of Rhalgr, and by my fist I will prove it to you. Oh, thrashed. Get wrecked. Oh, look who's come to help. Well, now, the professor said there'd be spectacle, but I certainly won't say no to action. I've been itching for it since our match was cancelled. Enough, Adri. Our goals are the same. Our methods but differ. Together we can achieve that much. We can restore our order. Adri is dead. I am Theobald, Theodoric's true heir and rightful king to Alamigo, and by your death I shall claim my throne. I'm not afraid of your giant oversized machine. To resort to the tools of our oppression, we will stop at naught for power. It has a twisted existence, and we must straighten him out. Come, my friends, we fight for hope. Cease his madness, Adri. This guy's back too. Never, I've come this far, I'll not stop now. We will see to Adri. Focus on the others. Come to me when you're hurt and I'll heal you. More of them. Have care, my friends. Stay sharp, Rukuda. Just more fodder for my fists. Burn them all! Using the Thorn adventure, but I have nothing to deal with you. Too bad. Useless to me. I'm not afraid. God damn, you got more of them. More reinforcements. Whatever it takes, by any means, I will be king. I think the bereft of honor. No Almagan will accept you. Leave that hunk of junk to me. Armor the Holy Fist! Alright. Guy's going nuts. Look at him go. It's just you now, Adri. so much for the dreaded Court Brigade. In the end, they're just relics of a bygone age. But not I. I'll not fall to the likes of you. That's what everyone says. Enough, brother. It's over. Silence. I'll not surrender to a craven who has forsaken his homeland. He leaves us no choice. Take down the Inferno machine. Cannot lose everything. Not again. Too bad, you just did. Adri, when next we fight, let it be with brothers. Let it be face to face. I am weak, too weak to bear the fist of Rogger alone. Yet come what may, I will not give up. Each time I fall, I will pick myself up. From my heart, I ask you this: will you not join me? Help me rebuild a new fist, one that knows not highborn or low, that discerns not shadow or light. A fist of Rogger where all belong. Again, only the same 3 people. Your fiery zeal kindles hope within people's hearts, and doubt not that, but that many will come to see seeking strength to protect that which they hold dear, and by their own hands. Now then, let us return to Alagana. There is still much to do, not the least of all thanking your Pugilist friends for their most timely arrival. All right. Hello, guys. Thanks for showing up. It was a fine speech, spoken from the heart. Lacked polish, to be sure, but that'll come with age and experience. And as good as a drubbing as we gave them, the Court Brigade will be laying low for a while. So will I think. At my age, a moment of fun costs a week of soreness. You must admit, though, every so often it's good to hurry yourself into real battle. Real battle? I don't know about you, but I scarcely broke a sweat. Oh, then I suppose I was simply imagining all that on your huffing and puffing. Oh, well, sad though it is to part, it is past time we headed home. But I hope to continue this fun exchange with our monk friend, our friend monks, Zensa and Chaka especially. Young and lithe as they are, I believe they harbor much Pugilist potential, and it'd be my pleasure to personally help them explore it. So, sure. You'll just like to explore something. Gods, could you make it any more obvious? Till next time, take care, Cecila. Thanks for showing these old bones a good time. Better watch out, Chaka. Someone's got their eyes on you. With your help, we have managed to weather another storm. I dare say we've all earned a moment's respite. You know, I can't help but feel that Master is too nice sometimes. After all that Theobald Adri fellow did to him, he goes and begs the villagers to tend his wounds. So complete is his dedication to reviving the Fist of Rogger, he wastes no energy in doing on such things as anger and retribution. Right, and at any rate, there's nothing standing in our way for now. We're free to get on with our mission. That we are. And what we've begun in Algana we shall continue in all corners of Garabania, never resting until the Fist of Rogger thrives throughout the realm once more. I'd say Master has a work cut off for him. He's gonna yell the support he can muster. So let's strive to go stronger, better to provide that support. After all, it wouldn't do to always rely on Cecila. Damn right. So what are we waiting for? Let's go and train. What? Well, we only just... pray excuse us, Cecila, and thank you from the bottom of our hearts for everything. You're welcome. Not you. Witnessing your furious struggle, I could not help but wish that I too could contribute with my fists. My son, I suspect, felt the same way when he chose to join the resistance. But as he walked his own path, so too I must die. As a man of science, it is my duty to pursue truth immutable, and that knowledge that the knowledge may one day benefit future generations. I did my small part for Widowgoat's cause, but know that it was mostly you, my friend, who helped him forge ahead in the face of adversity, who picked him up when fate cast him down. And for that, I am grateful. You possess a noble heart and more than makes up for your lackluster mind. Thanks? With that, I shall head back to Al Ulda. As fine a distraction as it has been to watch young bloods come to their own, my research will not advance itself. As ever, should you ever wish to partake in my knowledge, do not hesitate to come to me. Alright, sir. What are my parting words? The recent trials have taught me much about myself, about the extent of my debts. Through adversity, none of you abandoned me, and I nearly abandoned my dream, but never again. I owe to those who stood by me. To many I am indebted, and to you most of all. You are my master in all but name, ever leading by example, teaching me strength and grace. I pray that you will help me with many others, as you have helped me. I shall resume my mission with my disciples at my side. Together we will spread the fist across the land. The journey will be long, but come what may, I'll see it through, for I am not alone. Very well, my sister. Until next we meet. Oh boy, a happy ending! Nice! Cool. Courage born from fear. Courage born from fear. Let me pop over to Crystarium real quick. Because when it comes to the melee jobs, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, it's right there. I'm not quite sure. Let me pop over there real fast. I think I might have to be a bard for that one. I'm pretty sure it had to be a bard. Because if you remember, I'm doing these in order with the appropriate jobs. So like with Black Mage was so like it was White Mage on White Mage, Black Mage on Black Mage. I think I have to be a bard for this one. So let me pop over there real quick, just to see. Yeah, turn to a. Yeah, actually, yeah. So yeah, I can't do that until I'm a bard. So oh well. So yeah, I can't do the level 80 quest until I've done that. So I'll be. Yep. What happened? My OBS. Oh, what's going on with OBS? OBS is kind of like freaking out on me. But anyway, I'll be back when I'm level 80 and I have done the role quest. Assuming this is still recording, because I can't tell. Alright, we are level 80. So, Eric, what's going on, buddy? How has my monk friends been up to? Cecil, excellent timing. I have a request to ask of you. Or not, it is a simple task that shan't overburden your simple mind. In no small part due to your valor, Alamigo is one free of imperial tyranny, but something is afoot that gives me cause for concern. Not long, a soldier of the resistance came asking for Widdergeld's whereabouts. As soon as you know, the buffoon was once a captain of the resistance, and he had gathered under him like-minded men and women who burned with an all-consuming hatred for the Empire. While the inquiry may have been completely innocuous, we cannot discount the possibility that there are those who burn with hatred still, who mean to drag Widdergeld back on the path of vengeance. Though the Widdergeld, as we know now, him now would not lend such talk an ear, he may not be given a choice. Lest it turn ugly, I want you to find your brother monk and alert him to the dangers. The last we saw Widdergeld was in Algana. If he isn't there still, then the villagers may still be able to direct you to him. Go quickly, Cecil. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, let's see what we can do. You're that monk from before. Ah, the way you laid the corpse brigade low was just glorious. I wanted to become strong like you, so I went and joined the monkhood. Never once skipped training, I'm proud to say. Master Wittergill. Last I spoke to him, he mentioned that he was trying to find Theobald. Fellow disappeared while under the healer's care. Someone saw him staggering out of the village in the early hours. Was headed west by the sound of it. Oh boy. What else can we find out? Ah, yes, I remember you. Remember you, friend. Is there something you need? Master Wittergill, he's been traveling around Eorzea spreading the teachings of the monkhood. He comes back to Alganath from time to time to train our people, but I couldn't rightly say when he'll visit that. Great. What about this guy? Wait, aren't you Master Wittergill's master? Looking for him, you say? He's not here at the moment, but he comes fairly often to train us. Though he's a hard teacher, he inspires hard work. Thanks to his guidance, I was able to earn my cloth. Right, his whereabouts. During his last visit, he said he was going to Little Alamigo next. If you hurry, he might still be there. Oh, joy. There you are. Oh, they're in new garb, too. Cecil, I did not expect to see you here. What's going on? This grave. Know you who lies here? It is a man who called himself Theobald, my closest brother Adri. We had fought him in Alganath for healing, but he fled in spite of his wounds. He looked like a hunted man, so do witnesses say. I do not believe that. Adri was not one to flee. He had used the corpse brigade. He knew that they would come for him. Rather than wait, he went to them, and now he's gone. I wanted him to live, to stand by side again. I should have done more. You tried your best to have him see the light, like you did for us. Aye, you mustn't be so hard on yourself. Much has happened with you too, sister. That much is plain. Come, let me hear your tale. I mean, these are kind of the same thing. Lurek. Let's talk about him now. So, Lurek chose to sever ties with his kin. A resolve to which I can relate. I too chose my own path, spurned blood in favor of faith. Your part in this tale impresses me also. You did battle in a world flooded with light, yet again I'm reminded of your greatness. But my apologies. You've traveled far. Is there something you require? Oh, that's right. Our soldier from Resistance seeks me. What could this purpose be? You don't suppose they're coming out after those of Theodoric's line? It seems to me the Resistance would be above such acts. Yeah, I can offer no alternate explanation. Captain, it's been a while, sir. You. It has been a while indeed, but I am no one's captain. I have long loved the Resistance. Forgive me, sir, but old habits. It's hard to regard you as anything save my esteemed captain. How can you recognize him? He has a mask! But if that is not my preference, Master Wittergill, may I ask you to accompany Moralga's Reach? There is a matter we wish to discuss with you. Is that so? Very well then, lead the way. Zensa, Shaka, please wait here. I'll return anon. Cecil, may I ask you to join me? You are well regarded in the Resistance. Your presence would have given me heart. Without further ado then, let us be away. Alright. Sorry for keeping you. Oh, it's Elise! I'm Elise Hex of the Alamegan Resistance. Thank you for coming all this way. Cecila? Don't tell me you know Master Wittergeld. Something like that. Cecila's a dear comrade. I owe her much and more. Well, that makes it easier then. To get right to the heart of the matter, Master Wittergeld, we wish to invite you to rejoin the Resistance. Under the Mad King and then the Garleans, the people of Alamego lived in crippling fear and mutual mistrust. In rebuilding the nation, we want to create a place where folk can believe and support one another. A place where everyone can be regarded as a friend. And even those who are kin to the Mad King? We should have reached out to you earlier, I know, but we feared that doing so would incite those who plotted a return to the old rule. It's quite alright, Commander. I know your intent is good and true. However, I cannot rejoin the Resistance. I would serve my nation as a humble monk. This I have sworn to myself. Oh shit, I skipped a little bit of text. A man named Theodred never existed. There was ever only Wittergeld. And he wished to restore that which was once lost. The teachings of the Fist of Rhalgr. I see. Then you must do what your heart tells you. Let's try this again. I put this request to Wittergeld of the Fist of Rhalgr. I want you to train the soldiers of the Resistance. Though we want our freedom, we must be prepared to fight to keep it, and I believe that your techniques will serve us well. I've never trained properly myself, and for what it's worth, I'm very keen to learn. And I should be honored to teach. Great! We're in your debt. If I make a request of my own, may I visit the Temple of the Fist? I would pay my respects. Of course, you'll hardly need my permission for that. Come on, Cecil, let's all go together. Look at that place. We've been there, in a dungeon. Being here brings back memories. I remember the high priests, my brother and sister monks, all of them gone now, in fire and smoke. And you survived, but you survived, like the temple's stout stones. And thanks to your efforts, the faith has begun to rise from the ashes. Not my efforts alone. All I have achieved I owe to many others. Professor Eric, Zensa and Chaka, and not least of all, Cecila. I couldn't have come this far on my own either. Like you, I had dear comrades to prop me up and push me forward. I'll never stop fighting, forging on. For Alamigo. Oh. Our paths may differ, but our goals are one and the same. There is no more need for words. Cecila, the professor worries for me. Please return to him. Let him know that all is well. What, I can't stay and watch? Fine. I wanted to watch the little bouts. Fine, I guess I understand. Ah, you returned. Were you able to find Wittergelt? I see. I'm pleased to hear that his efforts to revive the Fist of Relic proceeds apace. Of course, it will take considerable time for the faith to take root across the land, but Wittergeld is young and determined. The day will come when he realizes his dream. But to think it was none other than Curtis Heck's daughter that sought him out. A woman who embraces her lineage and a man who rejects his. Viewed thus, their paths could not be more different, but as they have discovered, their goals are one and the same. Alamigo is stronger for their cooperation. In any case, it appears my concerns were unfounded. My thanks for laying my fears to rest. For a while, though, I believe I'll observe these two souls in their future endeavors. After all, I'm nothing if not observance. Hey, you are. I can attest to that. But that is the end of the level 50 through 80 monk quests. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next part. Later.